Well, hello everyone, and welcome on in. Thank you so much for joining us this beautiful Wednesday as we talk about all things health and wellness. We are living well, the ultimate health the ultimate health journey with I myself, Angel Conway, Dr. Philip Zinni, Jovi Marie, and Alice Boswell, and we have an amazing discussion for you all tonight. We will be talking about myths about veganism. So freaking excited about this topic. So let's get on into it, shall we? So, Dr. Philip, what do we need to know about the myths about veganism?
Probably the first and the biggest myth is that you can't get enough calories in, you can't get enough nutrients in, you can't get enough protein. And probably that's the biggest thing
Mhm.
is that you can't get enough protein in. And when you think about it, protein is in a variety of plant based foods. And we'll talk a little bit about that aspect in a few minutes. But that's the biggest myth is that you can't get enough protein in, and then you're going to be starving your body, you're going to be wasting away. But there's actually bodybuilders and strength and conditioning type individuals that do exceedingly well with a plant based diet and can actually thrive and even compete with a plant based diet. So that's that's probably the biggest myth is that you can't thrive in a stress exercise type of environment with a vegan diet or a plant-based diet.
I agree. So in my journey of changing up my dietary lifestyle and what I eat, that's one of the myths that I heard. I've been vegetarian since about 15, 16 years old. So
Hmm.
I've been doing this for a while and I've probably heard just about everything. But the protein has been one of the biggest things.
Hmm.
Um, and I must say, I really didn't find it hard to substitute protein. It was just back then, having good options was scarce outside of certain beans and legumes. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
what
and
is
yeah, I was going to say we can talk a little bit more about kind of the dietary intake aspect. So that's the big myth. Um, we should probably talk about what are the benefits, and probably the biggest benefit is cardiovascular health. When if you think about it, if you're not eating a lot of animal-based type of products, then naturally your cholesterol is going to be lower, unless you have some weird genetic type of uh, familial cholesterol where your body just produces too much. So that's probably the biggest benefit. And that is raising the HDL, the good cholesterol, lowering the LDL, the bad cholesterol. That's probably the biggest health benefits. Then the secondary health benefit is that in general, a plant based diet is more alkalinizing, which means it's less acidic because usually animal based diets are a little bit more acidic. And if you're more acidic, you're going to be more prone to inflammation. You're going to be more prone to cancer because cancer thrives in an acidic environment. So, those are three good reasons in order to be on a plant based diet is improving your cholesterol, reducing inflammation, and then reducing your overall risk for cancer. And when you reduce the risk of inflammation and less acidic, that means now you're going to be less prone to diabetes, you're going to be less prone to hypertension. So there's a whole kind of broad spectrum of things that you're going to be avoiding just by being on a plant-based diet.
Those are wonderful
Mhm,
benefits. One of the benefits that I experienced right off the bat was weight loss.
mhm,
And again, this was, teenage years. And so my parents, they just automatically were just like, what is happening right now? You're losing weight. What's that?
mhm, mhm,
But I think it was good because I felt better.
mhm,
And I noticed a change in my childhood asthma diagnoses when I
mhm.
did switch up my diet. So um, those were some great benefits that I experienced personally.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense because asthma is an inflammatory disease. So if you can reduce inflammation, you're going to be better off for it. And again, because you're affecting the GI health, then you're going to naturally be able to reduce weight easier, being on a plant-based diet. And you're not consuming calorically dense foods. In other words, um, a hockey puck size of meat probably has the same amount of calories as a big bowl of a salad. So you're going to feel fuller faster when you have a big salad with some type of a protein source on it. As you mentioned, whether it's legumes or whether it's nuts or seeds or something like that, you're going to just feel fuller with that much volume of food. So yeah, spot on, spot on. Joby, we're going to say something.
Yeah, so I do agree with both of you. Um,
Mm-hmm,
I know I have several people that are a little bit more vegan, vegetarians, and they go more that route. So
mm-hmm,
I normally always suggest like a high protein, plant based. So
mm-hmm,
beans, spinach, the whole works. Especially almonds, you want that in your diet as well.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is probably a good segue to start talking about foods. So since we kind of let off with protein, and I think there's a question up about protein, uh, the best protein sources, and Angel kind of led into this, and that's the legumes. That's a good source, which are like beans and lentils. And then traditional ones are nuts and seeds. And there's a variety out there that you can consume. And the whole idea is to make sure that you're consuming a variety of different types of proteins. So this way you're getting in all the underlying amino acids. So this way your body can build those proteins. So long as you keep on mixing and matching, you're going to be fine. And you're going to be able to assemble all the protein that you need.
So we have a question in the comments from Pat. Do you really need to take a lot of supplements on a vegan diet? That's a very good question.
So uh, typically people will say, yes, only because it's good insurance just to have a good foundational multivitamin, and um, because most people aren't really diligent about making sure they're mixing and matching and trying to get in a wide variety. So, if nothing else, it's an insurance. And quite frankly, even though I'm not a vegan, I still take a good foundational vitamin only because I want that insurance. So, if nothing else, it's a good insurance policy for yourself. Did that answer the question, Pat?
I love that. That was a very good question. I've always struggled with that. What you say, Jovi?
No, I said that was a good answer, Dr. Philip.
So, some of the other things that people might struggle with is when you're trying to consume more plant-based, you may kind of flare up some of the autoimmune type things. And what I mean by that is some people have a quasi gluten sensitivity, and it's not truly a gluten sensitivity. It's they're a little bit sensitive to certain plant-based things because of the way things are processed. So if it's non-GMO, you shouldn't have an issue. If it's organic, you shouldn't have an issue. Um, but just be a little bit conscientious about that because you're going to be consuming a lot more grains, and sometimes those grains cannot be the best tolerated by your body. So, if worst comes to worst, just keep a good food diary and see how you feel after you eat something, which is another good reason why to constantly rotate so that this way your body is getting a broad spectrum and a wide variety of things.
So we have a question.
Mhm.
Um, what is your take on consuming tofu as a form of protein?
So, in general, tofu is great because it's a good kind of fermented type of protein source. My only concern is that make sure that it's non GMO, make sure it's organic. And for some men who may be a little bit sensitive to estrogen, that might not be a good source for them because tofu is thought to be estrogenic for men. So um, that would be my only concern. Now, as far as cooking, it is fabulous because it absorbs
Yes.
whatever you stir fry in it. So if you want to get wild and crazy with herbs or seasonings, it's
Mhm.
going to absorb all that and it's going to taste wonderful. So I personally like it. Um, so no, I think it's a great source. Yeah.
If you haven't had tofu buffalo bites, you should try it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's essentially a protein sponge. It'll just soak up whatever you kind of mix with it. Yeah, you can go wild and crazy. Um, and then it looks like Marie asked, is it true that children can't thrive on a vegan diet? No, um, they can. And probably the best example of thriving is from the Bible. The Daniel plan was written about Daniel and his three buddies.
Hmm.
They were in the Babylonian kingdom. They were selected because they were so brilliant and they were being fed this cruddy diet. And Daniel said, hey, let us go back to our traditional diet. And I promise you that we're going to be okay. And they actually thrived. And their skin was clearer. They were thinking clearer. They were more fit and bigger. Their eyes were brighter. So, yeah, that's a myth that you can't thrive. Um, People will thrive. You just have to be smart about it and making sure that you're mixing matching things.
I agree. I raise children who are vegan. I have to admit though, not all the way vegan. Like they've had some dairy here and there. Um, However, for the most part, when they go in to get their checkups and stuff, the doctors say they're doing very well compared to their counterparts because they rarely get sick.
Yeah,
Like they're some healthy boys.
yeah, yeah. And I was just talking to one of my colleagues today, um, and we were talking about vegan diet and plant-based diets, and we were talking about. So this is kind of controversial. Um, where do the big lobbies come in? So you all probably aren't old enough to remember the Got Milk commercials,
Yep.
and that was just because of the food lobbies. So you were weaned off of human breast milk. You weren't weaned off of a cow. So humans weren't really designed as a society or culture to drink dairy milk. For some reason, and this might be biblically based, we do better with goat milk. hence kefir and Greek yogurt, things like that. So you're spot on in that the body wasn't really designed for that. So yeah, you can do that. Marcy, do you have to give up all your favorite comfort foods to be vegan?
Nope.
So it looks like Jovi, you were just kind of teed up for this with your cookbook.
Right.
So I'll let you take the lead.
So there's some good recipes with cauliflower, and you can actually make it like cauliflower, like chicken wings almost, and it actually tastes like chicken wings. So I know Angel has had several dishes, and she's always recommended that. A lot of the dishes that I've recommended are a lot of more plant based with cauliflower, basically. Um, and I'm not a big fan of cauliflower, so I had to learn how to season it and how to make it very tasteful. So yeah, there's different recipes that you can do. Um, I know guacamole is one of my favorites that I always have, and in small portions as well. And then you can also use coconut milk, coconut cream as well for your protein shakes. That's
Mhm,
one of my specialties that I like a lot.
mhm.
How about yourself, Angel? I know Angel has had. She had this one dish when we went out to go eat at a vegan restaurant,
Hmm.
and it was delicious. I was surprised. Explain that to the audience, Angel.
Yeah, so we went to an amazing restaurant called the Chicago Diner, and they had the country fried steak, I believe it was called. And it was
Hmm.
so I get it every single time I go there. It's so good. So it was that for the main dish, and then they had a side of steamed vegetables, so good, and mashed potatoes, so good. Um, so you have to try things out because not every vegan vegetarian restaurant are created equal. Like you definitely got to try it out. But I want to go back to something that you said, Jovi, talking about cauliflower. So is cauliflower something you would recommend for the people who are sensitive to gluten?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's one of my go tos since I am gluten intolerant. So, cauliflower, any vegetable, as long as you're going towards the vegetables, it's always going to be filling, anyways. And it's
Mhm.
always tasteful. So, it's just the seasonings. You have to put the right seasonings. If you're into like cayenne pepper. I like a lot of peppers on there as well. So, there's varieties that you have to do and play around with. And you
Mhm.
can always keep some dishes the same because I was playing around with different recipes to try to keep the same texture,
Hmm.
plus making it where it's going to be almost like you can't even tell. So like even the steak that you, or not the steak, but the vegan steak that you had, we asked what the ingredients were, and it was beans and some vegetables and also eggplant. So the
Mhm.
texture itself was actually really good. So it did not have any like extra fats in there where it's like, you're still eating all your vegetables.
Mhm. So, and that kind of answers Kim's question. She said, "How do you make it kind of taste good?" And you just have to experiment with different types of herbs and spices, and there's plenty of things out there. Um, Indian food, if you like that kind of genre of spices, um,
Love it.
most of their stuff is plant based, so curry type things. Um, that's wonderful. You can get plant based things on the Asian side. So there's plenty of spices that you can use in order to kind of pick things up. Um, and then Tyrone asked about bone density. Good question. So there are a variety of good sources of calcium in the plant world. Spinach is one of them.
Mhm.
Almond is one. So you can get
Mhm.
in almonds as a nut. You can get in almond milk. And as long as you don't have any type of estrogen type of effect, tofu that we talked about in the beginning is a good source of calcium. So there's plenty of ways to get all the nutrients and vitamins and minerals you need. And again, if worse comes to worse, if you want to take a foundational supplement, do that just as an insurance. Is it safe for pregnant or breastfeeding women to follow a vegan diet, and what precautions should be taken? So, I don't really know of any precautions, really, because again, as long as you're getting a broad based diet, you really shouldn't have any issue with getting the nutrients to the fetus, to the baby. So that really shouldn't be an issue. Actually, your pregnancy is probably going to be better because, again, it's not acidic. It's going to be less inflammatory. It's going to be more alkaline. You're going to have less GI issues like GERD or heartburn type of issues. So, in general, it's probably going to be better for you. Um, so you're probably still going to get your obstetrician making you take a prenatal vitamin just to be on the safe side. Um, but yeah, there's really no contraindications or precautions about it.
So I can speak to this really quick.
Okay.
With my last baby, that was actually a concern that I did have. But they reassured me, you know, just like you said, take your prenatals, just try to eat very nutritiously, you know, balanced meals. And it's funny because I think it was about my sixth or seventh check in, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Because this baby is like getting huge. And it was the heaviest I've ever been. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not doing anything different, you know, but like it was to the point she was like, okay, just try to whatever you do, pace yourself, in fact. Because this my baby was 9 pounds 3 ounces.
Ooh,
So yeah, he was hefty.
Oh,
So we didn't have no problem on that end.
good deal. Good deal. Then there's a specific blood tests I should take regularly to monitor my nutrient levels. Um, maybe the only thing that you might want to check are B12 folate levels, um, specifically for during pregnancy, folate levels for neural tube defects. That's probably the biggest one. Uh, Maybe calcium levels. That's maybe it. But when you do routine blood tests like a CBC, which looks at your complete blood cell count, there's indicators if you're not getting enough of the B12 type vitamins. So there's other ways of looking at it. Um, and then if you're older or perimenopausal or menopausal, you may want to get a bone density test sooner than later. But other than that, there's not really anything specific. You can get wild and crazy and do all kinds of testing. I don't think you need it. Just again, as long as you have a good foundation, you should be fine and won't really need any type of specific extra testing, if you will.
Good question. Awesome.
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
So,
awesome.
as we've been discussing, you know, veganism to be good for, you know, to lower inflammation.
Hmm.
What are some things that we can take for inflammation?
Hmm. Yeah, good question.
Mhm.
So, um, in general, um, anything that's going to reduce oxidative stress, because no matter what you're doing, even if you're doing something good like exercise or just living in the world, um, free radicals exist, and that's oxidative stress. and that occurs on the inside of the cell. And then on the outside of the cell, that oxidative stress kind of is relatable to general inflammation, and general inflammation means that uh, either cells are irritated or maybe the intestinal lining is irritated. So that's kind of on the outside of the cells, if you will. So the kind of the master anti-inflammatory supplement is the mangosteen plant. That has over 70 xanthones and polyphenols that helps out with reducing the cell. And then on the inside of the cell, to help out with that free radical, there it is, on the outside of the cell, that's the xanthomist spray, the mangosteen product. And then on the inside of the cell, you want to make sure that you're getting enough glutathione, because no matter what type of diet you're on, there it is, glutamist, you have a decreased ability to make glutathione, and it starts to drop off precipitously at about age 40. It starts to drop off at about 20. So you want to have that glutathione boost on the inside of the cell. So that's kind of the what we're calling the two-sided cellular solution, because you're helping with reducing inflammation on the outside of the cell, and you're helping to boost the good cell replication, the good ability to make healthy cells on the inside. So, yeah, good question.
I love that. So combating it on both fronts.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do we have any questions, any shares, Jovi?
No questions.
All right. So some of the things that you saw, the glutamist and what was the other one?
Xanthomist.
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 There you go.
You can check out at wellbeingpath.myctfo.com/vital, the number 4, LYFE. You can just see the scroll at the bottom, and you can check out that website for amazing products to help your overall health and wellness. Let's do a last check for any questions, comments before we wrap this thing up.
Yeah, the only thing I would say in summary is be creative, and be adventuresome, because the more spices you bring in, the less boring it's going to be. And really, spices are what really, I mean, it sounds trite, but it spices up your palate. So it's going to be great, and that'll help out. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much, Sherry Bailey. She says enjoying all the questions and taking notes. Good. It is our absolute pleasure to support you on your health and wellness journey. With that being said, we will see you guys back here next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time as we talk about all things health and wellness. I myself, Angel Conway, Jovi Marie, Dr. Philip Zinni, and Alice Boswell bid you farewell until then. Take care.
Welcome to the future of vitality and anti-aging. Our revolutionary products in our Vital for Life pack will support your journey toward optimal health, beauty, and longevity. Let's dive into these groundbreaking discoveries reinventing the health and wellness industry. As you twist and mist delicious glutamist onto the soft tissue of your mouth, you'll love how the nanobubbles enter your body and are delivered in as little as 4 seconds with almost nothing to swallow. Glutamist is an advanced, highly absorbable mist combining nano-sized, pharmaceutical, medical-grade glutathione in our proprietary cellular nutrition blend. This blend of 60 essential ingredients supports detoxification, slows aging, increases energy, and improves regeneration. Modern science confirms that glutathione depletes regularly. Our bodies naturally produce less glutathione as we age, along with factors such as oxidative stressors like stress, poor diet, smoking, pollution, and infections. Our 10x Pure proprietary process enhances the bioavailability of glutathione, optimizing up to 99% absorption and magnifying its benefits. The master antioxidant glutathione supports cellular energy production, healthy aging, muscle and joint health, inflammation health, optimal immune function, natural detoxification, quality sleep, mental focus, and beautiful skin. It is also perfect for athletic performance and the rigors of an active, age-defying lifestyle. CTFO's Performance Mist category is bolstered with the addition of Xanthomist, which delivers powerful mangosteen-derived xanthones directly into the body. Using our 10x Pure proprietary encapsulated nano-emulsion technology, Xanthomist bypasses the degradation of gastrointestinal gut enzymes, ensuring higher potency and bioavailability of its active ingredients. Oxidant-rich Xanthomist supports overall health and well-being, cardiovascular health, a healthy inflammatory response, immune system support, blood sugar balance, and brain function. And we don't stop there. CTFO's 10x Pure Ultimate Multivitamin and Mineral Supplement is a patented breakthrough in the nutrition industry. Enhanced with our 10x Pure delivery technology, it ensures optimal absorption of vital nutrients, supporting cardiovascular health, cognitive function, bone and vascular health, and more. Most vitamins on the market end up in the toilet. Ensuring proper absorption is a crucial key to reaping their health benefits, which CTFO's 10x Pure technology delivers. This innovative supplement combines 23 exceptional ingredients, including amino acids, chelated minerals, biologically active folate, vitamin K2, and vitamin B12. It's the ultimate cost-effective solution, delivering remarkable results for those seeking optimal health and vitality. Finally, meet Super 7, a delicious blend of the world's 7 major superfruits in a delicious, easy-to-assimilate, natural energy-boosting immune support chewable tablet. It delivers vitamins, antioxidants, enzymes, and much more in a daily family favorite ritual. At CTFO, we're committed to changing the future outcome of health and wellness, to advancing truly groundbreaking innovations that help transform how you live, feel, look, and age at the core of our Vital for Life path. Revolutionize your health with Glutamist, Xanthomist, 10x Pure Ultimate, and Super 7 nutritional supplements. Experience the best health technology ever to be introduced with Vital for Life. Take the first step towards a healthier, happier life today. Visit our website and order your Vital for Life pack now. Our commitment to excellence extends beyond quality products. It's about ensuring your satisfaction every step of the way. With our 60-day empty bottle guarantee, you can try our products worry-free, knowing that if our product doesn't meet your expectations, you're 100% covered. We'll even refund your shipping. Experience the difference with CTFO's advanced, high-speed nutrition technology and redefine your future. Healthy cells, happy life. Welcome to CTFO.